My vagina.
My vagina is delicious.
She transformed my coochie snorcher and raised it to a kind of heaven.
I saw her vagina change.
If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
I refuse to shave it again.
I learned it in the vagina workshop.
I love props.
Listen to it.
My vagina is angry.
My vagina. Alive, wet water village.
I began to feel beautiful and delicious.
My vagina.
I bet you're worried.
We were worried.
We were worried about vaginas.
We were worried about what we thought about vaginas, but even more, what we didn't think about them. There's so much darkness and mystery surrounding them. Like the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody ever reports back from there.
In the first place, it's not even so easy to find your vagina. Women go weeks, months, even years without looking at it. A high-powered businesswoman was interviewed, and she said that she was too busy. She didn't have the time. Looking at your vagina, she said, is a full day's work. You've got to get down there on your back in front of a mirror that's standing on its own, full length preferred. You've got to get the perfect position, the perfect light, which is then somehow shadowed by the position you're at. You're craning your neck, arching your back. You get all twisted up. You're exhausted by then. She didn't have the time for that, she said. She was busy.
So there were the vagina interviews, which became Vagina Monologues. Over 200 women were interviewed. Old women, young women, married women, single women, lesbians, college professors, actors, corporate professionals, sex workers, African American women, Hispanic women, Native American women, Caucasian women, and Jewish women. Okay, at first, women were reluctant to talk. They were a little shy. But once they got going, you couldn't stop them. Women secretly love to talk about vaginas. It excites them. Mainly because no one's ever asked them before.
First, let's just start with the word vagina. It sounds like an infection or a medical instrument at best. Hurry, nurse, bring me the vagina. 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 It doesn't matter how many times you say it, it never sounds like a word you want to keep saying. It's a totally ridiculous, completely unsexy word. If you try to use it during sex to be politically correct, darling, would you stroke my vagina? You kill the act right there.
We were worried about vaginas, what we call them and what we don't call them.
In Great Neck, they call it a pussycat. A woman there said her mother used to tell her, "Don't wear your panties underneath your pajamas, dear. You need to air out your pussycat."
In Westchester, they call it a pookie.
In New Jersey, a twat.
There's a powder box, a poochie, a poonie, a pee-pee, a poonani, and a peachy.
There's a toady, a deedy, a nishi, a dignity, and a monkey box.
A coochie snorcher, cooter, lady,
Gladys Siegelman.
There's a VA, a wee-wee, and a nappy dugout.
a pajama, fanny boo, marshmallow,
A ghoulie, possible, a tamale, tortita, and a connie.
A Mimi in Miami.
a split knish in Philadelphia,
And a shmende in the Bronx.
We're worried about vaginas.
Some of the monologues are based on interviews with one woman. Some of the monologues are based on interviews with several women that have a similar theme. This next monologue is based on one woman's story, though the subject came up in every interview and was often fraught. The subject being hair.
You cannot love vaginas unless you love hair. My first and only husband hated hair. He said it looked cluttered and dirty. He made me shave my vagina. When he made love to me, my vagina felt the way a beard must feel. It felt good to rub it and painful, like scratching a mosquito bite. It felt like it was on fire. There were screaming red bumps. I refused to shave it again. Then my husband had an affair. When we went to marital counseling, he told the therapist that he screwed around because I wouldn't please him sexually. I refused to shave my vagina. The therapist had a German accent and gasped between sentences to show her empathy. She asked, "Why do you not want to please my husband?" I said, "Because I thought it was weird. I felt little when my hair was gone down there, and I couldn't help but talk in a baby voice, and the skin got irritated, and not even calamine lotion would help it." She said, "Marriage was a compromise." I said, "If I shaved my vagina, would that stop my husband from screwing around?" I asked if she had many cases like this before. She said, "Questions diluted the process. I needed to jump in. She was sure this was a good beginning." So this time, when we got home, he got to shave my vagina. It was like a therapy bonus prize. He clipped it a couple times. There was a little blood in the bathtub. But he didn't notice because he was so happy shaving me. Later, when my husband was pressing against me, I could feel this sharp spikiness sticking into me. There's no protection. There's no fluff. That's when I realized hair is there for a reason. It's the leaf around the flower. It's the lawn around the house. You have to love hair in order to love the vagina. You can't pick the parts you want. And besides, my husband never stopped screwing around.